The world seems to be quitting at the moment. Every day I see headlines about someone quitting YouTube, quitting their job, quitting their passion. The term quietly quit is now a trend. People are even celebrated for quietly quitting. So how can quitting be the perfect solution to you becoming successful? The question is, quitting what? In 1996, psychologist Christopher Keyes, not Keyes, he wasn't my long-lost brother, observed that climbers trying to reach the peak of Mount Everest were so obsessed with getting to the top that the obsession blinded them from making life-saving decisions, causing multiple deaths. He said it became a part of the climber's identity in being so desperate to reach the summit that they forgot about the journey, and it was all about the result at all costs, resulting in a lot of fatalities. Now you see this desperation in music all of the time. Your identity becomes wrapped up in the summit, in the finishing line. But when it comes to the music, what is the finishing line? How do you define what the finishing line looks like? And how would you even know when you get there? At least when you're climbing Mount Everest, at least there is a summit. At least there is a peak. Chomolungma, or Goddess Mother of the Earth. Don't know, maybe it'll come up in a pub quiz sometime. Now here's what Christopher Keyes is talking about. When you become so tunnel visioned about the result, this comes across as desperate. And desperation is dangerous. Or when it comes to music and a career, desperation is unattractive. So pause it there. Okay, picture the scene. It's Saturday night and you are out at a bar. Okay, not dressed like this. Hang on. Much better. Okay, so you're at a bar, and some drunk dude is drooling all over some girl. Please, let me buy you a drink. Let me take you out. It'll be amazing. We'll go anywhere you want to go. I'll buy you whatever you want. Please. Attractive? No. Horrifically unattractive. Now you flip that around and you make them notice you by working on yourself. You go to the gym, you get a bit more buff, you work on your hair, you work on your clothes, you become a better prospect, you make more money. All of a sudden, these things become a more attractive proposition. Now this is the important bit. At this point, you are quitting, but you are quitting desperation. You are building power and you are focusing on the right bit. You are quitting, but you are quitting the bit that you do not need. Now change that story from girl at the bar to major record deal. I really want a major record deal. How do I do that? Well, let's not go and approach them and say, I really want a major record deal. Please, can I have a major record deal? How do I get a major record deal? It's unattractive. What you've got to do is the opposite. You've got to say, how do I make myself such an attractive proposition that this is going to work with or without that record company? And when they approach me, I'll say to them, maybe. But I don't need you. I don't need your money. I don't need your experience. This is going to happen with or without you. Now that is an attractive proposition. Now why is this an attractive proposition to a label? Because you're not desperate. All of a sudden, you are taking responsibility. And if you can make yourself the most attractive proposition in the room, it's a no-brainer. So now we live in this world of quietly quitting on one hand and other people saying you should never quit no matter what. Both of them are so utterly wrong. It's about quitting the right bits. It's about quitting the desperation. It's about quitting the result. It's about focusing on the right bits. Now, if you quit obsessing about the money, quit obsessing about the Spotify numbers, quit obsessing about the followers, and instead start obsessing about the audience and how to bring in the most value, the best songs, put out in the best way, with the best social media content, with the best community, now you are obsessing about the right bit and you aren't focusing on the desperation of just saying, I just want the end result. It's not dangerous and it's not desperate. So here are 3 key rules about how you can succeed by quitting the desperation. Number 1, think about this. 80% of all of the artists on Spotify are getting less than 50 monthly listeners. Why? Because they're focusing on themselves and they're not focusing on the audience. They're just saying, I made the music, I want people to listen to the music, I'm focusing on getting more numbers, and therefore they're not there. Instead of saying, I'm going to make the music and then I'm going to focus on the audience, making the best music I can, making the best social media content that I can, making the best community that I can, so this becomes about everyone else. It doesn't become about me, even though I'm the superhero. And you see this in social media content all of the time. Go to Spotify, go to YouTube, watch this, buy that, come to my gig, me. As soon as you say, hang on, Let's make this about the other side. Let's make this interesting. Hey, if you come to my gig, this is what you're going to get. Now that's a different proposition. Hey, if you go to YouTube, what you're going to get is X, Y, and Z. Now it's about the other side. Number 2, more emphasis on creating and less emphasis on posting. I cannot tell you how frustrating it is when people are telling me, I'm posting 3 times a day and it's not working. I'm like, yeah, but if I take a runny turd on the floor 3 times a day and I post a picture of it, I mean, other than some really odd people, I'm not really going to build much of an audience. So it's not about posting, it's about creating something amazing. So you can put a new song up every single day, but if people aren't relating to it, if they're not connecting to it, it's not going to work. Same thing with your content. Just because you're posting lots and lots and lots because Gary Vee keeps telling you post and post and post, you have to make good content. You have to do something that resonates with people who are watching it. We live in a time now where creating content has become a box-ticking exercise. Oh, I've got to make that content for today. Hang on, let me just go and take a selfie. Hang on, let me just go and do something for social media. We make something in 60 seconds and we hope or even expect it to go viral. Now imagine if that was anything else. Imagine if I was going to go to the gym and I'm like, right, you got me for 60 seconds. Let's get these abs working. I mean, how is that going to work? It isn't going to work. But that's what we expect from our social media content. Good content takes time, the same way as good music takes time. You can set up systems, you can set up templates, you can make things in batched content that makes this easier, but you still have to make something of value. You still have to think about the value that the other side is going to get from it. And number 3, stop comparing yourself to others. Harsh reality alert, right? This is going to hurt, but there's a lot of people in the world that are more attractive than you and more attractive than me. There's a lot of people in the world that are more talented than you and more talented than me. There's a lot of people who have a bigger niche than you and a bigger niche than me. So what? Makes no difference whatsoever. What we've got to do is we've got to look after our community. And if it's small, it can grow. So what we've got to do is stop comparing ourselves to others. We have to stop saying, oh, if only I looked like that. Oh, if only I could post like that. If only I lived there. If only, if only, if only. No. If only you had an access to all of the people in the entire world. Oh, you do, social media. So quitting is imperative. The question is, what are you quitting? And for me, it's about quitting that desperation. It's about quitting the end result. Because it's music. Subjective. There isn't an end result. So what we've got to do is we've got to concentrate more on the journey. We've got to concentrate more on the creation and less on the posting. We've got to concentrate more on the audience and less on ourselves. And in doing so, we will have a much easier and much more fun time. And you'll find a lot more people are coming with you. Now, if you got this far in the video, you are obviously serious about music. So why not click this video? And just take 5 minutes to learn more about how you can break through the noise. Because breaking through the noise is about getting heard, and getting your music heard is about opportunity, and opportunity is where the money's at. So click this video and I'll see you on the next one.